infotainment edition of We All Be Radio, News, and TV, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. Let me know if you can hear me out there. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. We all be in it to win it. Somebody let me know y'all can hear me out there if you don't mind. Share a wonderful time. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, biological, godmothers, stepmothers, people who take on mother roles. For all of us, we are very appreciative, especially this day, uh, this sunny Sunday down here in Memphis, Tennessee. So I hope y'all can all hear me. Just check out. This is actually the last day of the dreaded Mercury retrograde, which is also known by some people as Mercury Gatorade. So if y'all could comment in the chat and let me know if you can hear me. We have some tech difficulties, but the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. And we got a special guest on today. Let me try this. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know. Y'all can't hear me? Let me know. Can you hear me now? It's like I'm doing. All right, yeah, I've been having issues with my mic. Man, it's classic Mercury retrograde stuff. So I was saying happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, biological, step, godmothers, all that stuff. You know, if you take on a motherly role in somebody's life, we love you madly. Okay, we love you madly, in the words of Great Duke Ellington. Got a special show tonight. Phenomenal, legendary music artist, entrepreneur, artivist in his own right, extraordinaire. He's going to share his story. He's going to tell his story like a TI is, man. And I'm very excited to have this young man on. So much living history in this one person walking around. And he has some unique takes on today's culture as well. He's a true elder statesman, music legend. I can recall listening to NWA back in the day. I know who NWA was and is, whatever. Y'all saw the movie Straight Outta Compton, I'm sure. Uh, okay, volume is good. Thank you, Sister Law Dog. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've been having issues with Mike, but it's a song called Express Yourself that NWA did, but it's based on an oldie but goodie. And we got the architect of that sound, of that unique sound, getting down with us today. He's going to explain the thought process behind that amazing, timeless classic. Express yourself. You can do it. Express yourself. So we're going to talk who I'm talking about. Talk about the one and only, the honorable living legend, Brother Charles Wright. And I'm going to talk about him in his own words. And we're going to post some links to how you could catch up with this young man because he's on the move rapidly. He is on the move. He is not resting on past successes because he knows that the best is yet to come. But let's talk about who is Charles Wright. Charles Wright, an influential songwriter and recording artist, emerged as the leader of the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band in the late 1960s. Born in Mississippi, Clarksdale to be exact. Clarksdale, we're going to talk about that. Clarksdale is an amazing place to be born, especially if you are a creative genius. We're going to talk about that with this honorable creative genius on the line with us tonight. Wright's Southern roots influenced his blend of soul, funk, and blues. He began his professional music career in Los Angeles, where he merged with the Watts 103rd Street Band, Rhythm Band, and signed with Warner Brothers Records. The band's success include hits as "Do Your Thing" and "Express Yourself." After disbandment, Wright embarked on a solo career exploring various musical styles. Wright's artistic evolution and philanthropic endeavors continue to inspire a new generation of musicians. Without further ado, boys and girls, scholars and laymen, to the initiated as well as the uninitiated, it's time to tune out, to tune in, to get in where you fit in with the one and only, the honorable Brother Charles Wright.
How's everybody doing?
Did they find they can hear us loud and clear? I mean, I'm sorry for the delay, sir.
No problem.
Mercury retrograde is a beast. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, all right. That's cool.
How you doing? You looking cool. Speaking of cool, you look like, if cool was a person, it's
Oh,
you. How you doing, Mr. Wright?
oh, come on now. All right, I'm doing fine. Thank
It's an honor to have you on. Like I said, like I grew up, I didn't know, that the architect behind that sound that NWA used for their song Express Yourself, Mr. Express Yourself. I had no idea you was from Mississippi all that time until like recently.
you. Some people in Mississippi have no idea. It's
How
nothing. Say that again.
yeah, how was it growing up in Mississippi back in the day in Clarksdale
I
in
have a
particular?
book out, called Up From Where We've Come. And it explains all of that thoroughly. It was terrible. Actually, we're from 9 miles out of Clarksdale, out in the cotton patch.
Yes.
And my father had a sharecropping situation with an old guy who was mean as hell. And we went through hell for the most part, from the moment I can remember until basically a year before I left there. We moved into town a year before we left. And we probably wouldn't have left if my mother hadn't come out here to visit my sister, who had escaped, her and her boyfriend, her husband. And and she was never happy again when she got back. And she was always threatening my father to take the girls of the family, which there were 6 of those, and leave the cotton patch, because we were. Thing about sharecropping is you never catch up.
Mm-hmm.
You're always in the hole, man, and we'll be struggling to get out of the hole. After I got to be about 8 years old, my father demanded I pick 100 pounds of cotton, or he would whip me. I never could pick 100 pounds of cotton. I could pick 85 pounds, 90 pounds, 92 pounds. None of that meant nothing. I had to have 100. So I got a lot of whippings. So while my father's trying to get out of the hole, because we could never get out of the hole. It was designed so I know that now, so we would never get out of the hole. So finally, my father and my family, we moved out in the middle of the night, out of the cotton patch into the Clarksdale.
Mm-hmm.
And the vicious person who kept harassing my father, he had the police on his side and everybody. And my father couldn't get a job in town. My mother had a job at the laundromat, making $9 a week. But that wasn't quite enough, so I had to go get a job. I got a job on a laundry truck. And then one evening, you should read my book. I shouldn't be telling all this. One evening, my mother came home, and she'd been threatening to come to California with the girls all along. And she came in storming mad that evening. And she was bawling my father out and telling him he could stay here if he wanted to. But with the boys, with her and the girls were leaving. And she started packing a suitcase. My father, what's wrong? She said, those dogs out there follow me, talking all under my clothes. And you went and asked me what's wrong. My father went to the curtain and looked out the window, and these 2 cops were passing by. One of them had his hat over his head. He was laughing. They had been harassing my mother. She was walking away home from work. And she left and took the girls. So my father got to struggling and selling everything he had And about 3 or 4 months later, there was only three of my brothers and I left. There were six boys, but only three of us was left. And my father took the three of us. We boarded a plane, train to California. And that's the kind of life we were living. Are you there? Where's my host?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I just making sure
Don't
that
let
I
me put.
plug your book. I heard everything you said, but your story is definitely interesting. So when you say that, 'cause I met a guy when Mayor Chokwe Lumumba passed away down in Jackson. I think about 2014. I met a fellow who actually he ran away, like he was an escaped slave, like he ran away from the plantation back in either late 40s or early 50s, the early 1950s or late 40s as a late teen, maybe like 17 or 18. But he had to abandon his siblings who were older than him because they felt so comfortable being on the plantation and being limited in terms of their mobility. But he ended up leaving, escaping, and he said he was basically a runaway slave, and this is the middle of the 20th century. So did you feel like y'all were runaway slaves as well too?
We basically ran away too. Yeah, my sister and her husband, they ran away.
Mm-hmm.
We came to California we followed to California. They had ran away in the middle of the night.
Mm.
And I understand something that happened last week that they're going to give us reparations in California if
Oh,
we
really? What's your take on that?
if we can prove that we had anything to do with slavery. And sharecropping is right next door to slavery. I'm a witness. I know for sure. Yeah, that's my book. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem. I'm gonna put in a link too about the book. Yeah, because we want to know. I'm glad that you took part in telling your story. Like you're not letting nobody else tell your story. Like you actually are reclaiming your narrative. I think it's very important because you are a primary source, and we need to have this documentation so we can get reparations. Because I think a problem with us is like as a people, as Black people, we're so ahistorical. We don't study history. We can't remember that we knew that we knew. And the fact that you're here and that you have shared your testimony through your book is very important for us getting reparations. Like you
Well,
said, sharecropping was another form of slavery.
yeah. And they're trying to make sure right now that this generation don't learn about this, that don't learn what's happening with my book here. They're trying to make sure they're taking these things out of the schools and everything. This book should be in the school.
Yes, sir.
This book is, as far as I'm concerned, look at how I'm getting 5-star reviews. They got a half
Mm-hmm.
star there one place there, but I'm getting mostly 5-star reviews. And uh, this is history. This is true American history. And it's not designed to hurt anybody.
Well, truth don't play no favors. When you tell the truth doesn't have friends or allies. It is what it is. Like they said, a hit dog hollers for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you telling your truth, man. You sharing it, and I think it's very important that we all do that because even I want to ask you about the Emmett Till situation. You know, because it's really interesting to me. I'm a public historian, and it's really interesting to me with the Emmett Till situation is that people are mad about this white lady passing, right? This Carolyn Bryant Dunham lady. But here's the thing that people don't get that they got in 1955 that we seem to forget. Emmett Till and his family had 4 days. They could have told his great uncle the first day an incident happened at their store, they would have been in Memphis before nighttime on their way to Chicago. But they never told the great uncle because people blame the great uncle for what happened to Emmett. He tried to save Emmett, but they had 4 days to let him know what happened or whatever took place at their store. You had Black folks, from my understanding, that told Bryant, the husband, about the incident. I think Carolyn was trying to keep away. I don't know. I can't vouch for her, but I'm saying there were Black people involved in kidnapping, torturing, and killing Emmett Till. Dr. T.R.M. Howard, Medgar Evers, they all knew that back in 55. But we seem to forget about how the narrative really happened. But what is your take on the situation with the Emmett Till tragedy?
That was only a few miles from where I was born.
Mm.
And I understand what happened. But they had black people, there was supposed to be a black guy on the back of the truck holding him till down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of the people were afraid to speak up because you could get hung just for speaking up then.
Mm-hmm.
And for as I know, the lady lied. I read a few books on this.
Mm-hmm.
And she admit that she lied now. So they killed this kid for nothing.
Yeah, it overdid it. I actually read her manuscript that's supposed to be released in 2037. I had a connection that gave me the manuscript to read. And basically, I mean, my thing about that situation is that nobody gets away with anything in this lifetime. It's called karma. And
That's
she
my,
went through a lot of hardship.
that's my philosophy,
Yeah.
man. Sure. Well, she went through a lot of hardship. I don't know. I ain't read that one.
No, but she lost husbands, she lost sons, she lost children, died prematurely. Roy Bryant died. He had got a welding job down in Louisiana. He became legally blind from working that type of work. Him and his brother J.W. Malcolm got ran out the Delta after they confessed in Look magazine to William Bradford Huey. The white folks knew they were guilty as sin, but when they confessed and started bragging about getting away with it, the blacks and whites, basically stopped doing business with Roy Bryant and his brother J.W. Malcolm. So they ended up going to Texas and places like that, Louisiana. They both died of some type of form of cancer, like 10, whatever, a couple years, 10 to 15 years apart. Roy Bryant was interviewed by the Clarion Ledger back on the 30th anniversary of the Emmett Till killing. And he told the Clarion Ledger, because they found him back in the Delta, he had a grocery store of all things among a majority black population. And he told the Clarion Ledger this, I ain't gonna never forget. He said, back in the 50s or 54, black folks were afraid. But today they're not afraid, but they do not know. Because if they knew who I was, I would be a dead man. See, what's the point of being fearless and being courageous if you don't have no knowledge of self or what came before? That's my situation. Like, we're very ahistorical when it comes to what we went. I mean, I remember, Chris Webber daddy is from Tunica County, right?
Yeah.
I remember this interview. He said the reason why he left Tunica County, Mississippi, to move to Michigan was because his best friend got lynched. And you look at the Williams sisters' father, who grew up in Louisiana. He talked about how one of his best friends got lynched over stealing a chicken. So this is your era. This is what you came through, brother. And like, I want to appreciate you for not giving in or out or up on what you really believe in, believing in yourself and making your dreams real. That's why it's so important to help people like you on platforms that I do and bigger platforms to get this information out there, because you are not only a survivor, but also a thriver. And so we need to get that home. You're not a victim. Because my problem with critical race theory, that as they try to do it now, not what you're saying, but they want to victimize us and traumatize us and not tell all the whole stories about the ones who did fight back and got away and was able to not only survive but thrive. We need to talk about those stories as well. So this is why we should be studying your life work and what you have done and came through in schools. But schools are not responsible to teaching you about who you are. Your people are responsible. Your village is responsible. But what do you do if you're rootless? If you're a rootless people, if you're a homeless people, where do you go to get knowledge of self?
Unfortunately, we don't like to read.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and in the white population, the people who are running things actually, they don't allow us to have heroes, really. I had a partner named Melvin Van Peebles.
Mm-hmm.
He made a movie, Sweetback.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It was a black hero.
that's right.
The script was no bigger than that. I remember he brought it to me one night. and he's trying to get funding to make the movie. Uh, I turned him on to Bill Cosby, and he got the funding. I don't want to go into all of that except for the movie. The movie turned out, Melvin, he went off into the desert. He ate raw lizards. He took a challenge from a motorcycle gang, and he won the challenge, and
Yeah.
did all kinds of stuff. And then they brought the dogs on him, and he's about to cross the river into Mexico. And when the dogs ran off in front of them, when they finally came up to the dogs, they all had their throat cut, and they floating in the water, and Melvin was gone. They couldn't have that. So they come up with Superfly.
Right.
Which turned the black neighborhood upside down. And it was one of the worst things that ever happened to us.
Mm.
We think it's something cool, but Superfly was devastating for the black neighborhood. If you think about it, they brought dope back not back in, they brought the kind of dope in there that was never in there before. Cocaine was something that was outpriced for us. We just couldn't afford it. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden we got cocaine, and then eventually crack, and all the other bad things they did. They gave this guy a car, and it was, I had never seen a car like it, really. It's Cadillac, and it's rabbit furs and stuff, and he dressed them in with purses, and we didn't even wear necklaces before that. Earrings, black men with high heel shoes. I mean, Superfly turned us bottom side upwards, but we don't recognize that. So I don't know how to end this point, but I don't know how we're going to get out of this, because we're not only gone from natural hairdo, we blondes now. Mm-hmm. Where are we headed? We don't have a plan. Mm. Every other race on this planet has a plan. The Hispanics coming back to take their land back. Everybody's got a plan. What's our plan? Have we got a plan?
You raised so many great points. I love Sweetback movie, and you're right. It's funny that blaxploitation movies actually saved Hollywood, because Hollywood's about to they're about to go bankrupt and go out of business. But it was the black movies that saved Hollywood back in the 70s.
Still slaves.
Yeah, still like. But Melvin also, that soundtrack for Sweetback was done by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And Maurice White is from Memphis. I know they say Chicago. Yes, his folks was in Chicago, but he was born and raised here in Memphis with the Booker T. Washington High School, right down the street from me right now. But I want to ask you this, because you was the one that connected him to Dr. Bill Cosby, right, to get the financing. So also, you was the guy who ran the band for Dr. Cosby when he started getting into the music business, correct?
I did, yes.
So what was your experience like with working with Bill Cosby?
Don't get me started, man.
We feel free. We want to hear it, because this is because, like, you got a story to tell, but also I think you're fair in your assessment of said story, because you know what happened to him recently is his fall from grace.
And this is
8 years.
Yeah, and this is what I'm against, what happened to him recently. Mm-hmm. And I've always said it was going to happen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I don't like the way it happened. And I know you're confused behind that, but Cosby did something to me that I don't even want to discuss on this show today. Uh-huh. And I always said that something was going to happen to him because of what he did to my career. He 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 lifted my career at first, but then he destroyed it. So
Wow.
yeah, and like I say, I don't want to really go into it too deep, because I don't want to bring him down any further than these people have brought him down. He's basically a good man. Everybody got that other side.
Right, right.
And I saw some of the other side. Basically, that's it. I don't want to be part of it, pushing them down any further than they pushing them down. Because a 80-year-old man has no business going to prison with the rest of the killers and the robbers and thieves.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be in no prison like that.
Mm. So you think that it's funny that you say that because the powers that be made sure that Carolyn Bryan Dunham didn't die in hospice care in prison. The one who helped kill Emmett Till. Like they made all excuses for her not going to prison at her old age. And Cosby had all type of health issues, and he was in prison during COVID, and he still made it out some type of way. I had a chance to talk to him on the phone for about 30 minutes through his publicist. Like the same summer he came out. And why I said to him, which is interesting, like what you just said, you said basically he is a good man, but he got his flaws like any other human. He got a dark side like all of us do. But like he brought up the pound cake speech when we was talking about, I said, Dr. Cosby, I can remember when I was in college back in the early 2000s that I gave you your props because you boycotted Cincinnati when all them black men were being killed by the police up there. Like he did an economic boycott of Cincinnati as a celebrity, refused to do any business in the Cincinnati area. And he said, "You remember that?" I said, "Yeah, because we got to be fair and balanced how we critique people." And I think that even though you had a bad experience and it cost you some career advancement, you still felt like he was done wrong by how the way he went after him. And
He,
I give you props for that, for being fair.
he's done some great things, man.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, during the crack era, he was the only thing we had going positive for us.
Right.
His show with his doctor, uh, I can't call the doctor's name now.
Dr. Huxtable, you talking about like the Cosby's?
His Huxtable show was the only positive thing we had going for us, for as I could see. And it was very positive. And I seen him go into schools and educate kids on positive, on black issues and what is and what isn't supposed to be done and what has been done to us. I've seen him do some great things. So
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, I, I still feel like I've been cheated, but I I love him still.
You know what? It reminds me when you talked about it. It reminds me of what they tried to do to Monique. What they did do to Monique, the comedian and actress,
Yeah,
several years ago. How they shut her out and
yeah,
she spoke her mind. She wasn't quiet about it. And folks said she's gonna get blackballed. She's already been blackballed. You
yeah,
know that you might well tell your truth. But also when you were talking about Sweetback and the Superfly, did you ever had? I know you had some run-ins with Eric Monty, the guy who wrote Cooley High and created Good Times. Cause he
not,
tried to warn us about what they were trying to do to the black image in Hollywood, and people blackballed him. NACP, they took the time to destroy Stephen Fetcher, but they wouldn't support Eric Monty in trying to make sure that the black image would not be corrupted, especially like the black masculinity, black male image. Because you look at the movie Claudine, I used to laugh at that movie when I was young. Now I see it as a tragedy because here you got a man, a proud black man, a manly man hiding in the closet from a little small white woman, social worker, because you can't have a man in the household if you want to get that money from Zaddy, from white Zaddy. But look at what it took the toll on the black family 60 years later. 60 years ago, both said that my grandparents were married with a bunch of kids. Now, what's going on now? It's baby mama thing, it's single mom. I could be a man and a woman. I could be the father and the mother. And look at what's going on with our youth.
Look at that. I mean, this is dangerous for me to get involved in here
Okay.
because I make my money basically off TV commercials.
Mm-hmm.
But look how many black women they make look so comfortable in the bed or in the car, hooked up with white men nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that? I
Yeah, I
don't know.
know that even in social media, because they always talk about the black man hooking up. But I know even people I went to school with, they got white husbands and stuff, and mixed kids and all that stuff. But it's been programmed. It's programming like that.
We're being programmed now to uh, Australia did this. They programmed people to mix until the Aborigines were extinct.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I hate to have to talk about this, but it
Go
looks
ahead.
like we're headed in the same direction. And it's all about programming. How are our kids looking at that? And how many black men locked up in prison while this is going on?
Mm.
You know, how many children have a daddy while this is going on?
Mm.
Lots of children ain't got no father. Yeah, and I feel like I'm blessed, even though my father used to whip me a lot. I
Right.
had a mama and a daddy, a mother and a father.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of straightened me out for the rest of my life. But if I had only had a mother struggling to feed us, I'd be in big trouble, like everybody else. I mean, like so many other people.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd be out in the street trying to hustle like everybody else. I'm so thankful that I don't have to do that. You know, that I have a father. I could relate to my father and my mother.
Mm.
And I can imagine how bad it is because I remember I have a son.
Mm-hmm.
His mother and I didn't get along, and so I wasn't there, and he's 100 miles away, and he at one point was so bitter. I think he even hated me for not being there,
Mm.
and thank God he grew up and he's got his mind together. We love each other. We cool down. But there was a period of life about 10 years there as a teenager where he was really bitter at me for not being there.
Yes,
But I
sir.
couldn't be with his mother.
Mm.
I just couldn't be with his mother.
You know what? There's a lot of interesting stories about fathers not being able to be with their children because of the issues with the mother. And there's a lot of good men out there. It's funny if you think about it. Some of the best fathers on the planet are black men. If you think about, even go to Joe Jackson, you talking about your father. I'm thinking about Joe Jackson. If it was for Joe Jackson, there would have been no Jackson 5 or no Michael or no Janet. Come on, man. He put the
Absolutely.
discipline. I mean, he
Yeah,
came from a different generation, but
yeah,
he had a love for his children, I believe. You don't hear about them getting in trouble and stuff like that. I mean, people have issues. Everybody have childhood trauma and issues like that needs to be resolved. But you think about Tiger Woods, his father made him who he was. You think about the Williams sister. They
yeah,
did. He took beatings from gang members in L.A. just
yeah,
to make sure his kids had a place to play.
yeah.
So black men, we are proud. Even John Thompson. I remember when March Madness, when his son had that run in the Sweet 16 some years ago, and they wouldn't give credit to John Thompson, his father, who helped give Allen Iverson so many brothers a second and third chance. They gave all the credit to the white coaches and his mentor. His dad one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. This man looked out for Allen Iverson when people turned their backs. This dude stood up to powerful, ruthless drug dealers in DC. So Stay away from my players. I'm not playing.
All
That's
right.
the power and energy of a black man. And they
Yeah.
in this country will never be right until they do right by the brothers. Like it was this white educator, this white woman in Baltimore said this on a documentary. Until this country do right by black boys and black men, we'll never be what we should be.
What do you think they doing getting all these A1 rifles for?
Hmm.
Do you think they want to do us right, or do you think this is something? I mean, everybody's now talking about civil war and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we headed? I mean, who is responsible? Because I look at CNN, I look at MSNBC,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all buying into this. Here we go, the Civil War thing. I mean, they could. We shouldn't be listening to people like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm.
They shouldn't be listening to them. They should just cancel them out instead of. But they keep putting them in the picture, and they're talking about disastrous things. And I think it's something that should be more. I don't know if ignoring it would be the right thing to do, though. But to me, I feel like we should ignore all this negative stuff that people are trying to drag us into today. And we shouldn't even be talking about this, but
Well, I feel
some,
like, yeah,
somebody has to. I'm
that's
sorry.
it. Now you shouldn't apologize for it. It needs to be talked about. I think this is very constructive the way you're talking about it. And we should be able to agree to disagree and still be agreeable, as far as like being civil in our disagreements. But I gotta ask you this though, because this is like, you Mr. Express yourself, right? I want to know how you felt about NWA using your song for whatever they did, well, hip hop in general, but in particular, how you feel about that, about them using that song, your song.
I had uh, my royalties had dried up.
Okay.
I was at a point where I had even asked my wife to help me find a day job
Mm-hmm.
working in a bank. And she gave me a guy's number, gave me his card, and I called him. We had an interview over the phone for about half an hour. And then he asked me when it was getting ready to hang up, what have I been doing? I told him music. He said, "You're not the Charles Wright, are you?" I
Mm.
said, "I think I am." He said, "Well, I ain't giving you this job. You got to keep doing what you're doing." I said, "But I need the job." He said, "I'm not giving you this job."
Wow.
2 weeks later, my son called me. "Dad, you got a hit record." I said, I ain't heard it on the radio. I don't think so. He said, "NWA, they selling it out of the trunk of their car." I said, "I don't know nothing about that." So I hung up the phone. 2 weeks later, he called me again. "Dad, you got a hit record." So I walked out of my door. I told this story before. I don't know if people want to hear it again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, educate us.
But I walked out of my door and I'm going to go to the record store and see what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And the little guy living next door, young, with his parents, came by in his car playing "Express Yourself" by NWA. So I went over in his driveway and said, "Man, that's my song." "No, Charles, you old school. This is the newer shit. You don't know nothing about nothing like this." I said, "Man, that's my song." "Charles, you old school, man. This is the newer stuff, man. I know you." I said, "Let me see that tape box." So I sort of took it and looked at it. "Express Yourself," written by Ice Cube. He said, "I told you that you didn't know nothing about this." I said, "Man, I took the number off the tape, went in the house, called the company. The lady said, I told them I didn't think they could get away with this. She gave me Ice Cube number. I called Ice Cube and told him he couldn't be ripping me off of my property. Express Yourself was definitely mine. And I made it over $100,000 off of them for my next royalty check. So that.
Oh wow.
So I didn't like the record myself because they had put it through a computer,
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed the money, to be honest with you.
I don't blame you. Hey, but they didn't get your permission. But it's a good thing that God worked it out for you. You had, somebody looking out for you upstairs, whatever, in the universe.
God is always in charge, man. So then, within the next month's time or so, Burger King used to Express Yourself for their commercial.
Wow.
And I had never dreamed anything like that was going to happen. And since then, I got over 100 commercials.
Wow.
Express Yourself.
How did you come up with that song? That song is a true classic. It stands the test of time. It transcends time. Like, what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, one night we were at Texas University, Texas A.L.L.
Okay.
And we were doing a concert. And I closed the show with Do Your Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Do Your Thing ended, everybody kept clapping and stomping and screaming. And only God made me say, Express Yourself. And they were totally out of control. So I said it again. And I tried to write the song right there on the stage, but it just didn't work out. So I went to my room that night, my hotel room, and I wrote the lyrics to Express Yourself.
Mm. We got a question. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go on.
Yeah, somebody, Law Dog, she's a musician as well. She said, what about Dr. Dre, where you consulted about the production? Sound like you were not, and you weren't. You didn't know they used your song.
I had no idea. As a matter of fact, they've done things like went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything. They didn't invite me. They didn't.
Oh wow!
Did a movie right here out here in Compton. They didn't invite me. They just don't invite me.
Wow.
So and what's the lady's name? Doctor was married to Dr. Dre. Sings. She's a singer.
Oh, you talking Miss Chalet? You talking she had a baby bow? Yeah, she used to be with him long time.
She told me that Dr. Dre has made millions and millions and millions off Express Yourself in so many different ways. I don't know what they were, but she was there with him. I don't know.
Now I heard online. So I'm gonna ask you they said online that you are Eazy-E's uncle. Is that true?
I never met the man.
But that's what they saying online. They say, Charles Wright is Eazy-E's uncle.
It's all over the place. I know, but it's not true.
Yeah, because if it was true, you wouldn't have. Like you said, you would have known he would have went to you hopefully to use your song.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know. Didn't know Eazy-E. Yeah.
I got actually a person that you did know, and I just this is amazing to be able to talk to you about your life, but also your friends or the mentors. I call them Jegnas, but the people that help you on the path. This guy right here, I don't think we talk about him enough. You know who that is?
Oh man, that's the greatest man ever lived.
That's Jesse Belvin, everybody. Yes, but Etta James said that he was a better singer than Sam Cooke. He would have been bigger than Sam Cooke. What do you think about that?
Could have been. Both of them are great. Sam Cooke's from my hometown.
Clarksdale. Yeah.
Put him down. But Jesse Belvin, man, he influenced all of us in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody wanted to sound like Jesse Belvin. When I called him and told him when I first heard him, that one sounded like he gave me some advice. Told me to get my own style and leave his the F alone.
Now he
But
was originally from Texas, right? Was he from Texas
yeah,
originally? Okay.
but he took me under his wing, and he's responsible for what I have done ever since. He had all sorts of alter egos. I mean, there are lots of groups that had records that were hit records, but it was Jesse Belvin. But he was signed to some company, and couldn't do all the songs he wrote and recorded. He couldn't do that while he's under contract to this company. So there are lots of records that supposed to be somebody else is Jesse Belvin was responsible for.
I mean, he wrote Earth Angel. I mean, that's one of the songs he wrote, Earth Angel. That's a favorite doo-wop classic. I mean, you started out in doo-wop groups back in the day, but I mean, he wrote so many songs, like he don't give credit. It's like it reminds me almost about, I'm a big Johnny Ace fan, who was from Memphis, Johnny Ace. And there's a lot of songs he wrote he don't get credit for. I think Don Roby made sure he put his name on it. But Johnny Ace's name is not on a lot of them songs that he wrote that were hits too as well. But Jesse Belvin, I heard he was hired allegedly by RCA to work with Elvis. Is that true? To
He
help
was
Elvis?
hired to help Elvis. I don't know nothing about that.
They put all this on the internet, like you Easy E Uncle, and then he was hired to help Elvis with his music.
He,
But
he
go
would
ahead,
have
sorry.
he would have never helped Elvis. I know Jesse would have never helped Elvis. That's not true.
Okay. But
Yeah,
but why actually this, like, he died tragically young at 27 with his wife and some type of
32. 32.
he was 32?
Him and Joanne, yeah.
Why they got okay, I saw some things in 20. Okay, 32. Okay. So it said people think it was foul play, the car.
Oh yeah, there was an auditorium in Little Rock where we
Hmm.
just they that had this fence down the middle, white folks on one side, black folks on the other. And then white kids showed up late that night, I understand, from what I understand. And they demanded another show. Well, it was Jackie Wilson was the star of the show, and it was his band, and he wouldn't allow his band to do another show. Therefore, Jesse couldn't do another show. And the kids went out and cut their tires with razor blades, and you couldn't detect the cuts. So this is what I heard. His car met he wasn't driving. His car met another car at 80 miles an hour each.
Mm.
And it killed his wife, his roadie, and himself. The driver survived.
Okay, I thought the driver died. I heard the driver used to drive for Ray Charles and he had a reputation for drinking too much or not being responsible. Yeah, I don't know. It was Ray Charles alleged. See, I don't know what to believe on the internet because you're a primary source. You actually knew and heard things. But also, was Sam Cooke at that concert as well too? Was he performing as well with Jackie Wilson
No.
and Jesse Belvin?
Sam Cooke wasn't there.
Okay, well, I saw the documentary though. On they were saying that he was there or whatever. I don't know, but I do know it's like it was some fishy business with his car. But the fact that he wrote all these songs and he had sons, correct? He had two sons with his wife.
Yeah.
But the fact that he wrote all them songs, is there any way they can do to get like access to his masters or publishing? Is there any way they can fight or contest that in court? Did you
Who's
know
going
of?
to do it? His kids are dead. Who's going to do it?
His kids are dead now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh wow. Okay. Man.
Yeah, he had Jesse Belvin Jr. He tried to hold the stuff together. He got stuff on YouTube and everything.
Yeah. So you say he passed on.
He did, yeah.
Oh man, I saw some of the YouTube stuff. Wow, I didn't know. Wow,
Yeah.
I interviewed the children of Little Willie John as well too, because it was a Detroit Free
Look,
Press
Willie
journalist who
John,
wrote a book.
that's a tragic story too.
Yeah, but these guys like, well, Jesse Belvin, like he would say he was better than Sam Cooke. And then with Little Willie John, they said Jackie Wilson was afraid to come on behind him. That's Mr. Excitement, but he was afraid to follow Little Willie John. And then Little Willie John taught James Brown how to actually do Apollo correct. But Little Willie John was a bad man, but they don't talk about him. Little
Look,
Stevie Wonder named himself Little after Little Willie John.
Little Willie John was a motor scooter. He was really cold. I mean, he wrote some great songs too.
Mm-hmm.
Need Your Love So Bad, Fever.
I love Fever, yeah.
But Jesse Belvin was a threat to Jackie Wilson.
Okay.
Before this particular situation, Jesse and Jackie were at the Apollo Theater together.
Okay.
And what song was it? Danny Boy or something like that, I think.
And Jackie loved Danny Boy, man. He had great rendition of Danny Boy.
Well, he wasn't doing it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Danny Boy? And Jesse did it.
Oh, okay.
And Jackie told Jesse between sets, don't do that song no more. Jesse said as usual, F you. And they took Jesse out the show and sent him back home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember that. Very disappointing. He didn't like it. He didn't feel too good either.
That's interesting. Like people like that, you know, like he ain't take no stuff off of anybody. It's kind of like Sam Cooke. I heard stories about Sam Cooke that sound similar to Jesse Belvin stories. Like I think Sam Cooke was down in Memphis and there was a white cop. You know, the car broke down. The white cop told him to move along. He told, "I'm Sam Cooke. I don't push cars. I sing for a living." Then he told the cop, "Ask your wife about me. She know about Sam Cooke." I think he said some stuff like, "What's wrong with me?" The white cop in Memphis, no, they arrested Louis Armstrong in Memphis back in the day before COVID.
Well,
You know,
I know that sounds kind of risque, because Memphis, Clarksville is only 72 miles south of Memphis.
That's right.
And if he's from Clarksville, he ain't gonna do that. I don't
know,
think.
but Sam, but they try to warn him about trying to own his own stuff. I mean, they took him out of here too under suspect circumstances. Like Jesse, it's like he was very opinionated, stand-up black guy. It's like they don't like stand-up black men. I remember what was that, Lloyd Price? I believe he was on Sam Cooke documentary, The Great Lloyd Price. He talked about how Sam with the Fest Domino about let's own our own distribution and all that. And Fest Domino laughed and said, "No white folks treat me good, man. I don't know, want to own this." Allegedly, that what happened. But then with Otis Redding, he supposed to went into a distribution business with James Brown before they killed him. And I say they killed him because they never proved how that plane went down.
I always believe Otis was killed.
Yeah.
I personally thought one of them redneck guys back there at the airport in Atlanta might have tampered with his plane just on GP. I might be wrong, but I always had that feeling. He was one of my heroes.
Yeah, I know you had a chance to meet him, right, or connect with him at all.
No, I used to go to his concerts, but I didn't really never know him. But him and James Brown were two people that inspired me to truly try to get down. So
you got down, you still getting down, so and you're getting back up again. You get down, get back up again. But I heard that with Otis Redding that he had like a suitcase of like $10,000 on him when he died, and the person that searched and rescued his body, whatever, they retrieved his remains, they turned it in to the authorities, but it went missing. You think about a cop back in that time made $5,000 a year annually in that area. So he made $10,000 a couple of nights. You know what I'm saying? Otis was about his business, man. But I knew people that work at Stax back in the day. They said one guy I respected said he was stupid, not because he was stupid, but because he let them white folks know every move he was making. Like he would broadcast to everybody, this is the next move, this is da da da. The same thing with Sam Cooke, But you look at Michael Jackson and Prince. You've been in this business, and somebody told me nobody dies a natural death in show business.
Whew, you scared?
I know you got stories, Mr. Wright. I know you got. It's probably in your book, your book coming out, right? Your autobiography.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my book, my next book, Express Yourself, is going. It's going to be some kind of a book.
It need to be a movie as well. Because who would you want to play you in a biopic of yours?
I don't know. I'd like to play myself.
Okay, I mean, it's your movie. It's your movie. Who could tell your story better than you?
Yeah, no, I have to have a kid and a teenager and person starting the show business. I have to have 3 or 4 guys play my story.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna ask you this: like the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. How you hook up with that organ? How did it come about?
Well, Bill Cosby decided he wanted to sing, and so Warner Brothers agreed that he could do it, and so I was a studio musician at the time, and I was playing with this band when one day here he comes in the studio with another guy, Fred Smith, who's Warner Brothers designated to produce whatever Cosby did, and he was looking for a band to play behind him on his first singing effort. The first record we made was A Little Old Man. To track, actually, Stevie Wonder's Uptight Me.
Yeah.
We recreated that track for him. And then we started, the guy that brought him in there, Fred Smith, he created the name for the band. And so that was Bill Cosby's band. But not the band. The band in the studio played on the record.
Okay.
When he got to do live music, my band was backing him up. For a while, it's complicated. They had my band plus the studio band. I had to direct about 23 musicians on the stage.
Wow.
For his first few concerts, until one night came in there, and he met some English guy my guitar player, A.L.L, and myself, we were both left-handed.
Oh, so, yeah, Al McKean, your band. Wow, okay.
Yeah. And so I taught him everything,
All right.
Not everything, but practically. And so was the bass player and the drummer. My whole rhythm section was left-handed.
I'm left-handed too. That's awesome.
Oh. Cosby met some guy on the airplane, this white guy who told him he was a left-handed guitar player. And so he come in and just throw the guy in my band.
Wow.
That night. What a horrible situation. That guy was loud. He didn't know how to tune his instrument. He was louder than the whole band.
Wow.
When we first struck off, and I had to stop it in the middle of the first song. And at that point, we got into a discussion that was not very good. And after that, no longer did they have the studio musicians anymore. It was just Cosby and my band. And the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band. That's how we got started and how we finished.
So I didn't know Dr. Cosby had that type of influence like the Watts. 103rd Street Rhythm Band, then the Sweetback movie. I mean, you connected there with Melvin Peoples, and
I could tell you some other stories with Sweetback, what happened with Sweetback, man, but I don't really want to go into it with
I
Sweetback.
understand. Did Mario Van Peebles movie do it justice? The docudrama based on the making of the movie, did it do it any justice?
I don't know if I saw that.
Yeah, he played his father. You know, he looks like his father, of course, but he played his father and how he was trying to make the movie. Like he had the Bill Cosby reference in there, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and all that other stuff. I thought it was interesting. I seen the movie in college 20 some years ago, and it
Mm.
really blew my mind. And like you said, like it was like even I look at NWA, like how hip hop has been weaponized against black people. They went from express yourself, I don't drink or smoke cess to the chronic. Like
Yeah,
Dr. Dre went from I don't smoke no weed or cess, he went to the chronic. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like a couple years, like they use hip hop to destroy black youth. I mean, I'm a big Tupac fan, but now I see the point of see Dolores Tucker and Reverend Calvin Butts. They ancestors now. But I see what the point they were making. But I couldn't see it then as a young person. But now I understand looking at what's going on with us as a people now. Like even with the black image, like how Eric Monty tried to warn people in the 70s and he was blackballed and betrayed by how they was taking the black family and the black men and weaponizing our image and our our culture against us. Like even the music, how they uh uh pervert the frequencies and the vibrations. Like even Kanye West talked about the use of the 808s and how they attack certain chakras. And you think about the fact that a lot of these rap songs are popular because they simple people like your music that has soul in it. They had a connection to the church, to the spirit. They sampling your stuff and Curtis Mayfield and James Brown and Marvin Gaye and Rita so they get a hit.
yeah,
But the lyrics are horrible. But go ahead.
but all this is self destruction.
Yeah.
Because it's all when you destroy the soul in our music, which they done, they destroyed the emotion in the music. You're destroying something that's very precious
Yes, sir.
that we need. It's not something that we want. We need. We see us going crazy and killing each other and the world going blowing up. It's because we done got away from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We're lost. That the music, the soul music, everybody in the world trying to do it.
All right.
They might not be trying to do it right, but they trying to do it. This is America's probably major culture, and she's throwing it away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've been fighting for years with the drum machine situation, trying to
Okay.
save it, but don't nobody want to listen. I wonder what is wrong that we can't understand that we need the spiritual part of music.
Mm-hmm.
That's what music is about, spirituality. But we're losing it. And I can't get nobody to help me save it. I went and done a blues record now, a
All right.
Stone, Mississippi blues record.
Yeah, definitely.
You heard it?
I love your hand. It remind me of some electrified Delta Blues. You remember Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf.
Yeah.
All you definitely rooted, man. Like I played the thing several times before I got on the show tonight. I was blasting it down the street off of YouTube. I would tell people about your YouTube channel. Like it was a yes, sir. You still got it, man. You never lost it.
Well, you either got it or you don't.
Yeah.
And lots of us have it, but we selling it out with a sitting there with a computer and
Oh
a
man.
metronome. They're saying timing is perfect. Time is not perfect in the heart. The heart beats fluctuates, but when you got a perfect straight line of music, it takes the spirituality away from it.
Yes, sir.
I
You
don't know if
got
I'm
some good stuff
this.
on there, man.
Huh?
Got some good stuff on your YouTube channel that people need to check out. And
Yeah, I got lots of music out there that people ain't heard yet. Yeah.
and also your point of views are interesting as well too. I mean, you actually did work. You actually helped Little Richard, correct? D Little Richard. You was close to him.
I knew Richard. Uh, uh, I have a half hour interview with him on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube
Okay.
that I interviewed him. Uh, and it was very, very interesting and very, very upbeat. And it was really a happy interview.
That's cool, man. Little Richard, you know, when I was younger, see, this is like it's funny how with time things get a little bit more clear. Hindsight is 2020. I think Little Richie, he full of crap. He always bragging about, I'm the architect, I invented it. Woo! And then the truth come out. Everybody had to go through the house of Richard. Everybody was impacted by Little Richard. I mean, all the white rockers, Bob Dylan, the Beatles, Otis Redding, Jimi Hendrix, everybody had to come through the house of Richard.
Yeah, he's first one screamed it out, but
Yeah,
he didn't invent the stuff.
of course. Yeah, been around longer than that.
Actually, the guy who I give credit for is Louis Jordan.
Oh, the Jump Blues, the great Louis Jordan. Yes.
But Richard, he took it to another level. And he was really good at what he did. And but he had so many. He changed to a preacher, and he did this and he did that.
I mean, he was a torture genius, man. He was a torture soul, but he was brilliant. And thank God for his complexities and dysfunctionalities, because we wouldn't have this great music. That's speaking to R. Kelly. I'm a big R. Kelly fan. I don't, you got look, white folks got Woody Allen and Roman Polanski and Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis. They can separate their dysfunctional selves from their great art. Why can't we celebrate? I never been to a restaurant or barbershop or even a repast where somebody say turn that R. Kelly ish off. Everybody just start tapping their feet and step dancing, line dancing, whatever. So what's your take on the R. Kelly thing?
And you just last week, 5 days ago,
Yeah,
I'm riding in my car, and I believe I could fly.
right.
Came on my radio. Man, what a song!
Right.
What a song! They locked this man up for some. This man shouldn't be locked up.
No, I agree with you. Definitely. He got railroaded.
Yeah. And I understand he couldn't afford to defend himself. I didn't know that. If there's any way I could have helped, I would, man.
Yeah.
Especially after I heard, really, I didn't really hear I Believe I Can Fly until the other day.
Yeah.
That's a stroke of genius.
He's brilliant. He got a lot more music left in him. That's the tragedy of it all. I still think he got a lot more music left in him to give.
My favorite video was that stepping video here. Oh man, that's quite a video. I mean, he's highlighted beautifully in there. I think there's some jealousy behind some of this stuff. R. Kelly is kind of a special dude.
He is. I saw some Isley Brothers interviews, like Ron Isley and his brother, I think Ernie. And I like the fact that they didn't throw R. Kelly under the bus. They gave him props what props would do. Like he helped, reintroduce their music to a new generation of folks.
Yeah,
they missed a big thing. But some Law Dog moderator of the show, she said Cosby has been helping Kelly. From my understanding, she said Bill Cosby is helping R. Kelly.
That's good. That's great.
But he had to go through his own personal hell, I guess, in order to see, hey.
He probably would have done it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, Cosby, like I say, Cosby is a great guy. There's just dark side. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
and I fell in the shadow.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you like. I think that's important because I know I used to be a big baseball fan growing up. I know Ken Burns some years ago did this baseball documentary that people rave about, but he really villainized. He made our Ty Cobb into like Adolf Hitler or something. And Ty Cobb wasn't that. You know, I went to his museum in his hometown. And I started doing my own research because somebody wrote a book about Ty Cobb, and they was going based on what Ken Burns and them said about Ty Cobb. But Ty Cobb was very generous. He had a lot of respect for black baseball players. Some of his favorite baseball players were like Willie Mays and Roy Campanella. And he said the white guys need to play more like the black guys. And he had a scholarship he started in Georgia that gave scholarships to this native Georgians, regardless of your color. But what happened was a guy was hired to write his life story, and he had a falling out with the guy. And he was trying to, go through the legal process, getting rid of this guy, and he died. So the guy took vengeance by making him into this monster. It was not tell the whole story of who Ty Cobb really was.
Oh, after
So,
he's dead.
huh?
After he's dead.
Yeah, after he's dead. It's like Edgar Allan Poe. They had his enemy control his narrative over his estate. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's a weird thing, but the fact that even though you had your experience with Dr. Cosby, yeah, you still say he didn't deserve what he did. He had his flaws and shortcomings. He did some good, but he's a human being having a human experience, right? It's like the same thing with R. Kelly. How you gonna? I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't gonna hold you up too much, Mr. Wright, but the state the local prosecuting attorney where Bill Cosby's from, when this thing happened with that lady, he told her, I mean, the police investigated the situation as a criminal investigation. They couldn't find anything that was criminal in terms of what happened between him and that young lady. But the prosecutor told her, you need to file a civil suit. Maybe you could get some money through that, which she did. But my thing is, the guy that succeeded him ran on his campaign platform that if elected, I will put Bill Cosby in prison, which he did. But it was like a lynch mob rule. It wasn't really anything logical behind it. Even the state Supreme Court in Pennsylvania thought it was BS how they did this to Cosby, but it was allowed to happen. And what people don't understand that Dr. Bill Cosby not only tried to buy a network a couple of times and they killed his son, but
Yeah.
also he's sitting on a lot of land that those energy companies want out in the East. They want
Yeah.
his land to build pipelines and stuff on. And him and his wife was fighting to fight against. They land conservationists. They were trying to conserve the land for future generations, and they got into it with them energy companies right around the time when all the allegations started coming back up again around 2014. But anyway,
Cosby did more good than he did bad.
right.
And Cosby, I don't even want to elaborate on Cosby anymore.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Yeah, he did more good than he did bad.
Mm. When the last time you been back home, to Mississippi?
2.5 years ago.
How many years ago?
2.5.
Okay. All right. Your people still down there, or they moved on?
No, they're not there. I just went back there to relive my childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, Clarksdale's interesting. But what are they doing down there to produce people like you and Sam Cooke and Nate Dogg and Ike Turner and Rick Ross? Was something in the water down there? What was going on down in Clarksdale?
Muddy Waters, everybody.
Yeah, John Lee Hooker, everybody come through. What is down there, man?
I think it's the way people treated us gave us a new insight that very few people have. Also, I've heard from some mature musicians that the blues is a concoction that came about with the Black marrying the Indians.
Okay.
I don't know, but that specific place is where all this stuff started.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back there and you look, you see how they appreciate us for what we've done, given them. The houses are leaning to the side, people are on dope,
Mm.
uh, no productivity. Everybody, I guess, on welfare or whatever. It's a sad case.
I know I went down to Clarksdale for the Juke Joint Festival last year around my birthday weekend. And I'll tell you this about Clarksdale, I noticed it has a unique rhythm to it. Like everything is really musical. Every sound I hear, the people, way they people walk and how they move. And I mean, it's a stereotype, but Clarksdale is a very rhythmic place, unusually rhythmic. I'm from Memphis, but I'm saying it's something about Clarksdale because I
Yeah,
saw Kingfish. I think Kingfish is from Clarksdale, the young brother, guitar virtuoso and singer. I
yeah.
believe he's from Clarksdale. He's a great brother. He's improved a lot since the last time I saw him in Memphis
That the
several
fat,
years ago. Huh?
is that the fat guy?
Yeah, big guy, but he could play, man. That guy can go.
He can play. Yeah, he
Yeah,
can.
he can go, man. I was amazed, but it's something about Clarksdale, like you said, because WC Handy used to live in Clarksdale. They still got his home down there. That's when he had the blues. He kind of discovered that epiphany about the blues down that area. Then you
Yeah,
got the Dockery Plantation. You know, you get like Howlin' Wolf and Charlie Patton and Willie Brown, all them guys, and Robert Johnson, all them guys in the dang plantation at one point, all at the same time, which is amazing to me. But I look at Mississippi is such a weird place because all these great people come out of Mississippi, black and white, but the hellish conditions for some of the people had to endure, which is interesting. But like you said, maybe that resilience and that standing your ground or doing what you do regardless of the odds against you makes those people come out of Mississippi so great. 'Cause I even think about Fannie Lou Hamer out of Louisville. The president of the United States was so afraid of her not only speaking but singing. Lyndon Johnson was afraid of her singing.
yeah.
And she could sing. I mean,
Well,
like put the fear of God in you. But I'm just saying, man, this is so weird to me that like we think we have progressed. 60 years ago, black folks were more together than we are now. The black family were more together. You had black men that were men leading organizations. You may not have agreed with their politics or philosophy, but you had hetero black males in front of organizations trying to get stuff done for our people. You don't have that no more. You got black dudes in dresses, don't want to be men. So
Lord,
it's sad, man. You got this black
mercy.
patriarchy thing going on.
Have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. But like I said, we got to get a plan. We don't
Yes,
have,
sir.
until we get a plan, we're going to be continue headed in this direction. And we got a lot of people against us now,
Yes, sir.
just on general principle. White people talking about white supremacy and shit. Excuse
Yeah.
my expression.
No, you go. You good. You good. You it's safe space as much as I can.
Yeah,
Somebody want to ask you a question, brother Charles. Said, have you ever played in the Deep Elm back in the day in Dallas? Are you familiar with that place? The Deep Elm.
no.
Okay.
If I did, it was a fake.
Okay. But I just got another question. They said, this is Loud Dog. She's a bass guitar player. She's a pretty good bass guitar player. I hope Charles Wright will play that axe behind him tonight.
it's
You got
just,
some fans everywhere.
it's a prop, man.
It's a problem. I'm gonna ask you this, because you a big Jesse Belvin fan. Is he the greatest singer you ever heard? Who is the greatest singer you ever heard in your life?
you know, he's a great singer. I
Yeah.
mean, but last night I went and saw a play.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't Misbehaving.
Yeah.
There's 5 or 6. There were 6 of them. 5 of them. Great singers. Great singers. I was so impressed uh, to hear these people, because I didn't know anything about the play before I went and saw it. I've heard some, like I say, in church, I've heard some great singers.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think no one person is the greatest singer of all of them.
Yes.
Everybody got their own style.
Mm-hmm.
some people have superior style. Jesse Belton is one of them people. He had a superior style. So did Sam Cooke.
Right.
And quite a few other people. Muddy Waters, I mean, far as I'm concerned, who used to live across the street from my grandmother.
Oh wow.
Uh, people, I can't sing. I got style.
I mean, well, you said Otis Redding got a style instead of singing. Like, was he more of a stylist than a singer? Otis Redding.
Old Red had a hell of a style. He had a hell of a
I
style.
love Otis Redding, man. And
So
Al
this
Green, I love Al Green. Something about Al
Red
Green is
got
just
a hell of a
supreme.
style. Yeah,
It's
but
stuff that people never heard of, Charles. And his catalog is so amazing to me. Even the early stuff, Willie Mitchell, the high rhythm, how they was going behind him. Like he
yeah,
did that. I want to hold your hand, Beatles. Why do people do Beatles songs better than the Beatles, man? Like Wilson Pickett, Al Green, they all do Beatles songs better than them to me.
well, I,
That's just
I,
my opinion, though.
I, I can't elaborate on that, but I know some stuff about that. I can't even elaborate on.
Now, somebody made Uncut Cover got some great questions, like, and I guess reference to R. Kelly, but you speak on this for a lot of different things. Like, I guess R. Kelly, they trying to break his catalog massive. He wrote for plenty of people like Prince. Like, he wrote for a lot, like Michael Jackson, a lot of people. So you think this is about getting his catalog, his intellectual property, R. Kelly?
Could be. I don't know. I didn't know he wrote this for all those people before.
Yeah, he wrote for. I know he wrote a Man in the Mirror, I think, for Michael Jackson. But R. Kelly was such a. It's a brilliant. Just a brilliant guy. He's up there with them guys. I mean, I put him up there with Mayfield and Cook and Gay and guys like that. In terms of his writing ability and singing ability and stuff.
That's,
But you think R&B is dead right now because the drum machine and other things like that? You think R&B is dead or soul music is dead right now?
they tried to kill it with disco. They tried to kill it with all kinds of things, and they finally think they finally got it. And right now, I mean, where there's just a peak in the dark. You know, it's gone almost. The feeling in the music is what's the most important thing,
Yes, sir.
and the emotion. But you can't. That drum machine kills emotion. It's just too strict. And hey,
I mean,
I'm
you know
hoping.
what? You said a drum machine. I was thinking about all the great jazz drummers like the Max Roaches and Tony Williams and
Yeah,
Art Blakey. Art Blakey, man, that man was a general, man, to me. Elvin Jones. And you bringing things like Thunder behind Coltrane. You can't get that on a machine. Not yet. They working on it. The artificial intelligence, they are working on it though. Cause they'll talk back to you
that's
sassy now.
scary.
The artificial Siri
That's
talk
scary.
back to you sassy
I don't. I'm sorry.
now.
Artificial intelligence ain't gonna be able to touch this.
But you think should we be afraid though of how like
I'm
pervasive
afraid
it is?
of. I'm afraid of the very idea
Yeah,
because it's gonna get in the wrong hands. And you know what I'm talking about.
I know you talking about. It's already there to me though. This is another story. It's like Terminator time right now. It's Skynet, whatever they call it on Terminator. I think because you think about it, you got Tesla, they got cars that could drive themselves. What make you think they're going to program those cars to kill you or to take you for a ride you'll never return from?
You scared me, man. I got a Tesla out there.
I don't mean to scare you, but I was just think about Elon Musk even afraid. Like, he the one that made the Tesla.
Yeah.
But you be seeing those movies though, right? Because like it was a movie. Right, I'm gonna tell you this. I ain't gonna hold you up, Mr. Wright. I really enjoyed this. I want to have you back on because you got an interesting, unique perspective on things. You got great music that you're making now. But like it was a thing called the Lone Gunman. This was a spin-off show from the X Files back in the early 2000s. They did a show March 2001. The first show was about somebody hijacking a computer system to a airliner and flying the plane to the World Trade Center. That came out in March of 2001. What happened that year? 9/11. Same premise. So they program called predictive programming, where like the Simpsons could predict Trump gonna be president, or even like a couple years ago, they had a cartoon on Comedy Central that predicted that Kobe Bryant would die in a helicopter crash. They played it and then they try to take it down, but people keep on reposting it. And it shows Kobe Bryant dying in the helicopter crash. This is a cartoon.
No kid.
Oh, yes, sir. You can look it up. 'Cause I remember, 'cause I couldn't believe Kobe died, but but they showed it. They said the cartoon predicted this a couple years ago on
No,
Comedy Central. That's how
no,
you gonna go out.
no kidding.
Yep. But then you think about it's a project called Operation Mockingbird. Mockingbird, where the U.S. intelligence control the media apparatus. They've been doing that for years. They've controlled the Washington Post and New York Times. 60 Minutes. Their top consultants are CIA people. So they
Mm,
control the narrative, the propaganda, the story. So people got to understand that we are living in a true matrix of sorts. But the thing about it is, the artist is some of the freest people on the planet. They used to be, and first thing that Stalin did with his purges was get rid of the artists, the people
mm.
that force people to provoke thought and think about things. To
Oh,
to be able to inspire people to think about things, you're a dangerous person. It's like you said, express yourself. That's dangerous to say
I
in a
better shut up.
totalitarian system.
I better shut up.
No, don't shut up. No, you look good, man. You like black don't crack unless it's smoking crack. Even then, it might not crack. You know what I'm saying? But you look good. You don't even look like you in your 80s, man. So you must be able to go to sleep good at night. Yo, you must have peace of mind.
I was sleeping good till you told me my Tesla gonna kill me.
No, no, sir. We want you to live long and prosper. Let me ask you, what is the key to living like you? I mean, you like you in a good place, like you taking care of yourself, looking good. What is the key to living prosperous and long, in your opinion?
Uh, I believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a religious person though. I believe that God give us the ability to take care of ourselves,
Yes,
and
sir.
I believe we should try to eat right and treat other people
Yes, sir.
right and be a giver instead of a taker.
Yes, sir.
And when you give, it comes back.
Yes, sir. So I want to thank you, brother Wright. We're gonna have you back on again. I hope you be willing to come back on with us again. And how is your album available now for purchase, or is it in the process coming out?
I don't know. It won't be out for another 6 weeks or so. But your hand is out.
Yeah, your hand it got my hand tapping, slapping. I love it, and we're gonna promote it. And I want to thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule to sit with us on this Mother's Day. I want to thank God for your mother having the foresight and wisdom to get you out of Mississippi so we could hear what you had to hear from you, for getting the message out. So I'm gonna stay express myself. Want you to continue to express yourself because, in the words of Duke Ellington, we love you madly. So keep on producing and pushing, sir.
Thank you so much. And thank you. And I hope you and your audience do enjoy this show.
It was awesome.
All right. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. And thank y'all for listening to. I mean, this was a pleasant surprise. Like, I actually been a fan of Mr. Wright one way or the other because of the NWA sampling his music, and thank God they did sample his music. And I want y'all to be encouraged and stay encouraged because Mr. Wright, he went through hardships, but people gotta understand it's not what you go through, it's how you respond to what you go through that makes the difference in your story. Like, hard times and adversity doesn't develop character, it reveals who you really are to yourself. So you got to understand that, stand on who you are and whose you are, know who you are. Don't compromise yourself or your expression to make people feel better about themselves or to feel bigger and more dominant over you. Because, like, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And when you let your light shine, you amplify the lights because you give people courage to step out on faith and let their light shine, to express themselves. Because to me, all quite frankly, to be a genius, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just got to be true to who you are and to your calling and to live out that truth before the world. That's how you save people, by saving yourself. You don't save people all the time by throwing out a life raft or whatever you do. You save people by being true to yourself and being unafraid uh it to fail. Because the only way you can fail is if you stop trying. So keep on trying until you do it and do it well. But always express yourself, because if you don't tell people how you feel, they're gonna think you enjoy getting mistreated or disrespected or underappreciated. So Mr. Wright is an amazing guy, and please check out his YouTube page. Let me see. I think it's his YouTube. Yeah, subscribe to that because he got not only great music, original music, but also he has a very unique perspective on things. He's not an old fool. He's an elder. He's not an older. He's actually an elder because he learned from the experiences in life. And sometimes he put it in a song. Sometimes he just podcast or vlog it, as they call it. But yes, follow him on YouTube, and also let me see what else. His main website, his official website, is a good place to start to find more information as well, too. Let me see, find it. Go to it like expressyourself.net. That's his official website. And I hope we can have Mr. Charles, Brother Charles, on here again soon. So want to thank him for his time, for his treasure in terms of his information. Let's see. There's Mercury retrograde. Okay. Let me see something. So I'm gonna post that in the chats, the link to his website, official website, expressyourself.net. Thank you, Law Dog, and the other people for staying around. Yes, go on his YouTube channel, look up Your Hand from his YouTube site. It's worth the listen. It's amazing. Amazing. He had me tipping and tapping, going down the street. I had it on repeat numerous times. So, and that does it for this edition. Oh, okay. Thank you, Uncut Convo. That really means a lot, man. Or her, him or her. I don't know if it's a man or woman, or you a they or them. Man, you find some of the most amazing people that people look over are not the main characters in the storyline the media tried to push. I thank you for that. I really enjoyed, talking to Mr. Wright. Great man. And thank you for listening, for your great questions that I had a chance and pleasure and honor of, letting him answer, presenting to him. Ah, Shocky Shock, what's up? Thank you for tuning out to tune in to get in where you fit in. And we all be in it to win it, man. No lemon lane, man. Thank you. So, thank you, Mr. Charles Wright. That was very special to share your story of music with us all. Yes, he is a great man. Thank you. Thank you. Great show, man. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, your hand. That's authentic. Uh, it's like Delta blues electrified. It's like the Chicago blues is basically Mississippi Delta blues with electricity, with electric guitar. So when I listen to that song, it reminds me of the Muddy Waters, the Holland Wood. That Mississippi Delta thing is still strong, man. It's strong. Them Delta blues are something else. And what I love about Clarksdale, like even like Morgan Freeman's Ground Zero Blues Club is in Clarksdale. Now it's touristy and gimmicky, but it's not gimmicky when it comes to the music because you got authentic Delta blues musicians performing there on a weekly basis. That thing gets going, that juke be jumping and all that stuff. So it's very much great. So thank you all. So let me see. Yeah, Your Hand is amazing. It's a hit, man. That song, Your Hands, is a hit, most definitely. No, I got some of the law dog. I got some of the questions in. Yeah, I asked some of his questions, especially about the R. Kelly catalog. Thank you. Oh, he or she or whatever uncut. Thank you so much for tuning out. To tune in again when you fit in. But let me do the disclaimer for the channel. Also, support the channel. You can cash app your supporter codes, cash app $ R2C2H2. Google Pay, PayPal, and Zelle your support, R2C2H2 at gmail.com. You can Vimo your support at R2C2H2. Apple Cash 901-299-4355. Or join the Patreon at patreon.com/we all be. Also buy Artivist Art, R2C2H2.com. You can wear Artivist Art. I got my I to Be Well shirt. It's Happy Mother's Day, Happy Revolutionary Mother's Day. Got my I to Be Well shirt from Holly Springs, Mississippi. So anyway, let me read the disclaimer and we'll be out of here. Can you dig it? Oh man. Okay, disclaimer: the views expressed by hosts and guests on the We All Be TV platform are not the official views, opinions, beliefs, or perspectives of We All Be News or the We All Be Group Incorporated. We All Be News is an organization that thoroughly believes in supplementing the information narrative that is usually supplied by the corporate news entities with those viewpoints and expressions which may be marginalized or ignored for a plethora of reasons. We are about informing the general public on alternative perspectives as it relates to news and information and letting the general public be the ultimate judge in deciding on how to use said information. Informed citizens are responsible citizens. Thank you for your support. Thank you all once again for tuning out, to tune in, to get in where you fit in. Because in the words of legendary Dr. Michael King Jr., not Martin Luther King Jr., but he was known as Michael. That was his actual name at first. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Do my best, Dr. Umar Johnson impersonation. We love you madly, in the words of Duke Ellington, and y'all keep on producing and pushing. So I'm just, yep, they got a lot of history. Okay. Happy Mother's Day to Dr. Mom and all the familiar matriarchs, blood, and community. Thank you, Sister Law Dog. Okay, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one. Till the next time. Let me pull this. One love. I think I got it. It's kind of like a heart, right? Let me see. I got the heart. I'm trying to do a heart thing. This is weird. Okay, one love. I got it. One love.